Hey, what's going on, everyone? And welcome back to another great epic episode of Just My Opinion Reviews. Guys, we over here talking about that Paradise. Yes, Paradise. This is on Hulu, Disney Plus. Episode 3, titled The Architect of Social Well-Being. Yes, isolated Xavier seeks answers on his own and cautiously turns to Dr. Gabrielle Tarby. Meanwhile, Billy and Jane feel the pressure from Robinson's investigation. Guys, this is going to be a spoiler-filled recap. Me and my guest are going to spoil it up, down, left, right, in, and out, as if you've already seen it. That is your warning. Like I said, I got my guest, Mr. Lamont. We get life games. How you doing, sir? How you doing?
Good. I'm happy to be here. Thankful for any time I get to review a show with you. Let's dive into it. I know some of y'all mad because I be pinpointing this stuff like no other. Here we go with another one.
Yes. Here we go. We're going to see how much stuff you did pinpoint. If you love the energy we're giving you guys, follow us on social media. Our handles on the screen. Lamont's information is in the description. And here's his channel. Subscribe. We're going to talk about that later on. Lamont, what did you think about the episode, man? Did you like it? Did you hate it? You in the middle? You loved it? Tell
loved
us.
It.
Why did you love it? Why did you love it?
Well, first of all, whenever I get predictions about stuff and it comes to fruition, of course I love it. But they answered more questions. We finally got to understand what was going on with Colin's wife. We got to meet his daddy, who's played by Glenn Thurman, a actor that I've loved since A Different World in 1987. Used to be Aretha Franklin's husband. May I just throw that shout out there. And things I said about Gabrielle came to fruition too. I said somebody's going to get the Gabrielle cootie cat, and somebody basically did in the shower. And we learned more about Sinister Sinatra and Colin's role in what's going on. And the big reveal, I told y'all we can't trust the bill, but ain't nobody want to hear me. I said it. And so I can't wait for us to get into this thing pinpoint by point, and we'll break it down for you further. But all I got to say is that old cut the rug, cootie cat loving black cow is dead, and he spilt the beans on Bill.
Yes, he did. He spilled the beans on Mr. Billy right here. My goodness gracious. I wanted to like him. I wanted to like Captain Flapjack, man, but we cannot trust him. And this dude over here, I mean, what the hell are they doing? They are the Secret Service, has one of the most responsible jobs in the country, the world, whatever. And you want to press play on the surveillance so you can play Wii, so you can play some Nintendo. Come on, man. Is it that serious? Like, I just don't think so, man. And then you're over here kissing. Go ahead.
Think about it, B. It's bonding with his mate. You know, people do weird things with the folks they like, and the reveal came that he's dating. What's her name? Jill and Bill, Jane, whatever the hell her name is.
Right.
Well, first of all, it's a conflict of interest to be dating in something like this anyway. That's number one. Because it makes you susceptible to do stupid shit like playing Wii when you're supposed to be doing your job. So that's why a lot of these jobs have no fraternization policies. And Bill stuck it to Jill. But now we know by the end of this episode that probably with the whole turning off the camera, Bill wanted that to happen anyway.
Really? Yeah, we're going to have to see, man. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it, man. I mean, if you, in my opinion, maybe it's not a big deal to the people that have been doing jobs like this all their life. But if you have on your resume that you are the Secret Service and you guard the president, why mess that up, man, with some local office poontang, man? It's not worth it. Or to play Wii, you know, while you're on the job, 2 in the morning. I was just like, my jaw hit the ground, you know, because at first I wasn't trusting Miss Lady right here. I'm thinking that she's behind everything. I'm thinking that she's the corporate. And so when she pulls the individuals in there to have the meeting or whatever, like, oh, tell me why you did it. Because this episode, I don't want to say the episode was slow, but it didn't necessarily push the season forward too much. You know, we did get a lot of backstory, which I did appreciate, but you know, as far as pushing the story forward, that didn't come into events until the end of this episode. So when she was confronting them, I was like, hell yeah, okay, the plot is about to thicken. how are they gonna get out of this? And then it was revealed that it was some Nintendo plan. So I don't know. I was just a little annoyed by that up until the very end, to where we actually found out that Bill, does have some things up his sleeve. But going back to her, Lamont, can we trust her? Because when I was watching this episode, I was saying to myself, okay, I think we can trust her, because she is doing some really good acting right now. When the coroner was describing the details of the body, like it was blunt force trauma, there was no defense, there was mud or dirt over here. She was acting pretty well in front of Samantha, Miss Sinatra, and then she went to the bathroom and she started throwing up, vomiting. So I was like, okay, we can 100% trust this woman. She is not going to be going into the bathroom, throwing up in the toilet if nobody's there to watch, if she's not putting on the show. You know what I'm saying? So this is genuine. But then I saw a few seconds later that Sinatra was in the bathroom with her. I think Sinatra was vomiting too. So I was like, oh, wait a minute. I think I want to trust her, but I was like, we can't, it's not as ironclad as I want it to be. It's not 100%, because she could be throwing up in front of Sinatra just to, twist us, pull the veil over our heads. But what do you think, man? Can we trust her, or am I reaching?
No, we can 100% trust her. But who we can't trust is that Sinatra. And let me explain to you why it would be easy for both of them to throw up in this situation. If you've never killed a person, and for whatever the reason you kill a person, then you're faced with looking at their body, it can make you sick on your stomach. And one thing that we didn't mention in the last review we did, the president is the first person to die down here after 3 years of being in paradise. No one else has died. He's the first one, which would mean that both of them could be implicated, because this is the first time they both seen someone dead in 3 years, and they might both have had blood on their hands, which makes them vomit to know that they are responsible for someone dying. Now, having said that, the fact that they gave us 2 people throwing up, I think one is culpable and the other one was vomiting because she loved her white slave master that was tagging that ass from the back, which is Collins. Not Collins, Robinson. And so I think she's innocent of this. But Sinister Sinatra, she's got something to do with this, and she was throwing up in there for the wrong reason. Uh-oh. I guess I get to host the show because B. Avery is gone, ladies and gentlemen.
My bad. I was muted. And you can hear me now. Can you hear me now? I think we're good to go.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, my fault.
Yeah.
My fault. What do you think about Miss Gabriella? Do you like her? I like her. I want to trust her. Where are you at on that, man? Where are you at on that? She has some nice eyes too.
You know, I was feeling Gabriella last episode when I said I want to use, like, you want to see what's up her sleeve, and I said I want to see what's down her shirt, and we got to see what's down that shirt. However, it says something about her ego that she is the architect of everything that was put in place to create a social environment, a psychological environment. And the fact that we can now say that it's really her fault that Colin's wife did not get picked to come down here in paradise. And on top of that, it kind of makes you wonder, did she pick Collins because she got to pick everybody? And Collins was her hand pick to be the agent to work with Cal, the president. It makes you wonder, did she have some nefarious intentions for Collins? Because we seen what happened when she took him into that shower. Now, that shower behavior was a 2-part thing. Number one, Gabrielle doesn't trust the surroundings. She thinks there's cameras and devices everywhere, listening to everything. Right. So I do think that one reason she took him in that shower, so that the noise of the shower could drown out what she was saying about Bill. However, I also do think that she has strong feelings for Agent Collins and that she wants to have his next set of kids. But I do think we can trust her.
Okay. I was just about to ask you that too. Do you think she actually has feelings for him, or she was just trying to, sneak and tell him something? I think it's both. I think, she was.
It's both.
Yeah.
It's both.
I think she definitely was setting herself up for some good time in paradise when she handpicked him. Like, okay, we need him for this because he's smart, but I can
Yes.
also use him, to get my jollies off as well too. So, I'm
Yes,
not.
she wanted that mandingo, and I was saying to
Yeah.
myself, "Girl, like, you got to go in there and clean out that twat, and then you bring him in there with you." And as she was trying to get the mandingo, she was trying to tell him some lingo in the
Yes.
ear.
Yes, in the ear. Let me ask you this, man. How do you think they determined who would play what role in this paradise with this 25,000 people? Because when they were in the coffee shop and the waitress came over, I was like, who determines this? Who determines who's going to be the waiter, the waitress, the cook, the electrician, the plumber? I mean, I can imagine that you're going to take on some jobs that
Yeah.
you did in the real world, but you got to
Mhm.
draw the line somewhere. Is this something that was difficult or hard to accomplish? What do you think?
Oh, hard as hell. First of all, I think it's safe to say, because me and you kind of assume that maybe some of the other nations might have survived. Based on what we learned from this episode, it's safe to say that ain't nobody else survived, because they even mentioned billions of people, and it's only 25,000 down there. And she even mentioned that they set it up with only 25,000 being down there because of the right recipe for breathing air. I was
Yeah.
like, damn, this chick got this thing down to a T. She, and so you mean to tell me out of the world has 7 billion people, only 25,000 are left, and she handpicked everyone for this job. And I'm wondering who's her therapist be, Avery,
You know what I'm
because
saying?
the weight of knowing that you X'd out all these other people, including this man you trying to sleep with his wife, it's got to be heavy. But I think that she handpicked everyone and put everyone in the jobs that they have. Even she mentioned that the cheese fries things was her idea.
Yeah.
So I got to assume that she handpicked everybody for every specific job. But B. Avery, considering what she had to do, there's a screw loose in her head, and I wonder, are we going to see that screw pop out?
Whoa, let's stay there. What you mean? What's the screw that's loose? Help me out. Help me out.
There is no way you can really and truly sleep at night in good conscience knowing that you killed everybody. You basically killed everybody that you didn't select to come down there and be with that 25,000 people.
I wouldn't label it like that. That she killed them. It's just.
She killed them.
I mean, you have no choice. You can't save everybody.
You can try.
Well, I mean, you can only. We don't know the levels of control that she had, or at least I don't. But it sucks.
She said she had
It's
all the control.
okay. Or even still, I wouldn't label it as she killed those people. It's just, she had a difficult decision to make. But it is what it is. Y'all let us know what y'all think about that. I mean, I'm not trying to cut you off either. You can keep going if you want to. But let's talk about your man, Mr. Glenn Thurman here. Or I'm sorry, Glenn Thurman. Excuse me.
Mhm.
This brother has over 177 acting credits. And I like him when I
Yep.
see him on the big screen. And I liked him in this. It looked like him and Sterling were actually related, And so,
Yeah.
how did you feel about his role, and was it fulfilling to you, all that good stuff?
I loved it, man. I loved just having the conversation of them playing chess. I love the dynamic of father son, and even they included the grandfather and the history that each one of these children have made. To see these black men come together with legacy like that done my heart fine. And I can only hope that, later on when I'm 80 and my son's 40 something, we can have a similar conversation about the great things he's done and what I did to help his life be better. Um, I think it was a bitter pill to swallow, but I do think that Agent Collins did the right thing because he has a form of dementia or whatever, or Alzheimer's, whatever it was that's causing the tremor, and he doesn't want to quit flying. He doesn't want to quit flying. And I really love the way, because if you're a pilot, one of the ultimate goals you want to do, you want to always fly a fighter jet, or you want to go and see Air Force One. I know because I've taken flight lessons. And for Collins to say, look, I'm going to make the executive decision, Daddy, and I'm going to pull you out of flying because you are a danger to everybody else. He did it by letting the man see Air Force One before he did it. The only thing about that, B. Avery, after that happened, it made their relationship bad. But Colin said he ain't had no problem with it because it's what his daddy would have wanted him to do if he was in his right mind. So I loved every piece of them and their interaction in this episode.
Yes, I agree with you 100%. But it did bother me that their relationship went sour. That was, very unfortunate. I didn't know exactly what happened. I was like, oh my gosh, did he, have an episode while he was in the air and crash the plane and kill everybody? That's just awful. Like Jesus Christ.
Oh,
I mean, it's possible, but I didn't know until, they got to it at the end. But, the amount of pride his father had bothered me, sir. You won. Like, what else, in my opinion, what else do you want out of life? I mean, I really don't get it. And I know that, you want to go out on your own and, we can be stubborn, we can be prideful and all that, but to an extent, man, like you said, the history of the family, his daddy was a red tail in World War II. Mm-hmm. He's a pilot. His son couldn't be a pilot because he didn't have the best eyes. Like he failed an eye test or something like that, right?
Right.
But he was still the Secret Service. I don't know how you able to, protect the president if you don't got 20/20 vision. But hey, I don't know all the requirements. But he was still a Secret Service on Air Force One. Your son is married, got children, got money in the bank. I'm assuming, unless you just got some gambling addiction. You got to see Air Force. What else do you want? You win, other than hitting the lottery. And I don't think the man is broke. No. Some people work. They keep working because they just Social Security or whatever else is just not enough. Or I know some other people that did have money, but they just wanted to keep working because they was lonely and all their loved ones passed. That's just not the case. So I was really over here just like, man, this man got 30, 40 plus years on me. So of course there's going to be some things about life that I just don't understand yet. I'll get there. Mm-hmm. But I was like, this is silly, man. I can understand you being a little upset about it, but initially, because you want to go out everybody want to go out on their own terms. But for the relationship just to fall apart to where Collins didn't even want to talk about it with Miss Brown Eyes, man, that really broke my heart, man. It really did.
So I've had the privilege in my 40-something years of life to work with the elderly, the geriatric population. And one thing that is always troubling for them is they want to keep their freedom, even though their health might be failing them. So oftentimes I've worked with people elderly who are driving that should not be driving, and the kids have to step in and take their driver's license. And that sours their relationship with them because they feel like their kids are taking freedom from them. And with a job, you have these situations with the elderly people where they kind of feel like if I'm not working, my mental health is just going to plummet, which is going to kill me. And you see a situation where a lot of elderly people, when they have nothing to get them out of the bed anymore, and I don't know if there's a correlation, but they do wind up kicking the bucket quick. Yeah. So you do have to deal with that when you're dealing with the elderly population. And it just makes it so much more of an emotional roller coaster when it's your own family that you're having to take the driver's license or take the job from, whatever the case may be. And I've seen families split because people have to, basically put the hammer down on the parents. It's like you raise children, you got to put rules in place for children, and then you got to put rules in place for your elderly folks too.
This is true. These are facts, sir. These are facts. Lamont, one thing I do want to know, if I can try to find the actor real quick, I don't think I'll be able to in time. But why did they pick this man to fulfill the role of the president? I'm not talking about the actor himself. I'm talking about the character. My goodness gracious, you are a weak noodle if I've ever seen one before. I mean, why was he even up for consideration as a candidate? The white bald man, we've seen him before in other TV shows and movies, but for you to have to sit down with your wife and Sinatra and them talk you off the ledge. I'm just like, bro, why did you even sign up for this? Like, what's going on? Am I tripping, bro, or am I making some valid thoughts? So do you know what I'm talking about?
I
It
know
was a big
exactly what you're talking
it was
about.
a big whiny
I,
baby to me.
I kind of feel like there's a couple of things going on with that. Number one, these people have been living down here for 3 years in paradise and no one has died. And now all of a sudden you have a murder on your hands. I think that even you would be a little nervous if you've been somewhere where probably it has been taught that no one is going to die. And then all of a sudden the president dies that has a security detail. And now you have that same job. The other thing is, I don't think he had a choice in whether or not he was going to get the position because the real power broker, Sinister Sinatra, put his ass in that position.
Yeah.
And then we got a chance to see her ego on display one more time when he said dismiss. And she was like, Mr. President,
this in my office.
Your ass in my office. So get the hell out. I was like, this chick here, boy. So I can understand his concern, B. Avery. I can understand his concern. He didn't want the job. He's forced into the job. And the job he's forced into, the person before you just got killed, and we don't know who the killer is. And we don't even have a clue or a lead on who did it as of this moment. So I would probably be a little worried too.
Well, gosh darn it, Lamont, you make a good point, sir. You make a good point. What am I tripping on? So y'all let me know in the comment section. Am I tripping or, am I making some valid points here? But no, Lamont, he did make his a good point there. I thought it was kind of cool that the doctor, Gabriella, they recorded over 1,000 sounds or 1,000 insects. That's pretty cool right there.
Yeah.
They really went into the details, the nitty gritty to pull this off. So that's quite nice right there. Lamont, I can't wait to watch episode 4, man.
Me
I
neither.
really can't, to see exactly what's going to happen. I may try to start it as soon as we're done here because this is pretty good, man. I'm dying to know what happened next. What else?
I got a question for you though.
Yeah, there you
I got
go.
a question for you though.
Yeah, what you got?
There is, whenever you have a situation where a population has been wiped out and we have a segment or a small group of people that survive, think Noah's Ark, think Adam and Eve. There's one thing that they have not talked about in this show, AB Avery, that we need to know. What is the plan to repopulate the earth? Or is there a plan to repopulate the earth? What is the plan of survival to keep the species going? We haven't heard nothing about that yet. What do you think is going on with that?
I don't think that the world is gone. I honestly don't think there's only 25,000 people left.
Really?
So, yeah, I think they're either hiding that information or they're just unaware. I guess there's another other scenario.
So you think that could?
Go ahead,
you think that could be some information on that missing tablet that they are looking for right now, that Sinatra won? You think she's got some top secrets up there that the rest of the world is still alive and running?
Well, I don't know if it's in the tablet. I know that she has some secrets, but right now I'm just not convinced in general that there's only 25,000 people left on the entire planet. I just don't. I haven't swallowed that pill yet. I just don't. That would be really disappointing to me. If
you think Gabrielle is lying too?
No, I trust Gabrielle. I trust Gabrielle. Well, because she's the one that says that. I don't know. I want to trust Gabrielle. I don't trust Samantha Sinatra, nor do I want to trust her. But I feel like she does have some secrets. Gabrielle may have some secrets. We know that Billy has some secrets. But right now, yeah, man, I'm just not there yet. As far as there's only 25,000 people left, I think there's more to explore in that arena, or at least I hope there is.
Wow.
So now, it's kind of hard to comment, like as far as repopulating the Earth, because I'm still think there's some Earth left. So
okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you remember, we discussed this last episode, and I said to you that we might still have Japan and other places alive because the tsunami might not have hit them.
Right.
But this episode, the way Gabrielle was talking, has made me convinced that this is it. This is the last 25,000. And if this is the last 25,000, what is the plan to repopulate whatever's left? What is the plan to keep the population afloat just in paradise? We got to get to that too.
But the more I think about it, Lamont, how can America only be the only, like, how? Like, there's other governments across the world that are smart, capable, and have resources to do the same thing, if not better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, why would America be the only one that prepare for this doomsday? You know what I'm saying? And if it was like, why would they only want Americans? It seemed like they want maybe 5,000 Americans, 5,000 people from this continent, 5,000 people from this continent, etc. So I just, it can't be, bro.
Avery,
it can't be.
That wouldn't be Avery. You would be thinking that Senator Sinatra believes in DEI, but no. Her ass don't believe in DEI. She believes in MEI, which is bullshit, by the way, ladies. I'm just fucking around. That MEI is straight bull jive. But look, I'm with B. Something is afoul. And I believe that what's afoul is in that tablet. And it could be that Senator Sinatra might have a role in what happened to the rest of the world, and we don't know it.
Yeah, I'm very confident in that right there. What else you got? Was that it?
That's it, man. Man, wow. I loved it. Loved it.
Me too.
Loved it.
Me too. Well, guys, there you go, man. We have some interesting questions that we get some answers to in the coming episodes of this show. But I'm entertained. Lamont's entertained. This is pretty good, man. I'm glad that we decided to watch this show because I'm very, very eager to see what happens next. But guys, that is going to wrap it up for our Paradise episode 3 recap reaction titled The Architect of Social Wellbeing. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section, whether you liked the show, you hated it, our commentary, all that good stuff. Also, please give Lamont a subscription to his channel. I'm pretty sure he would appreciate it. Let's help this brother get to 400K. Also, subscribe to my channel if you're watching here. You're watching on my channel, Lamont's channel, either of our channels. Just subscribe. We will be here same time, same place for episode 4. But until then, guys, don't forget that I'm B. Avery. That's Lamont, and that's just our opinion. Peace out, and we'll see you next time.